Hi everyone, my name is Lucas and this is The Lukey Show. This is my very first episode and today we are going to talk about something very, very, very close to my heart and that would be my drumroll, my glow up experience. Okay, I know it's kind of unserious, but I decided to pick this as my very first topic because a lot of people on TikTok low-key asked me about it. And I wouldn't say I was particularly like ugly growing up, but I definitely was not as cute as I am right now. And that is what, I don't know, inspired me to make this video. On TikTok, I get a lot of comments asking about it. So I thought if that's what the people want to hear, that's what they want to hear. So that's going to be my first topic today. So let's get into it. Now, before I talk about this topic, I want to just address the elephant in the room, which is the epidemic of the looksmaxxing community. Now, if you've ever been on TikTok, on this side of TikTok, you know what I'm talking about. But I think it's just straight men in particular. And there's some girls out there too who are kind of really problematic. But they talk about getting hotter, which is not a bad thing if you want to become more attractive and be more confident in yourself. Like, that's a great thing. But the way they handle it is really bad, in my opinion. Like, they made up this like random thing, bone smashing, where they tell people to like take a hammer and put it to their face to make themselves get a jawline. I mean, I guess it's natural selection if you're actually doing that, but guys, like, I'm sorry, that is literally the most insane thing I've ever heard of in my entire life. So please take a step back if you are even considering doing that and maybe take a listen to this podcast so I can tell you healthy ways to improve yourself. So, what we're not going to do here is give really um, toxic ideas of becoming more attractive, like the looks maxi community. I would also say they're kind of just like filled with hatred in the way that they just come for anyone who's not like a 12 out of 10. And I'm definitely not claiming to be a 12 out of 10. I don't think I even need to be because I'm a normal person. I'm not a model. So I feel like the pressure to be super attractive is really unnecessary in society. I think you can become the best version of yourself, but to push people to be like doing like double jaw surgery and this and that and fillers and blah 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 blah, it's just like getting really toxic. So maybe that's what we should be addressing is the low-key toxicity in society as how we have all this plastic surgery, all these fillers, and people are ending up getting botched. And it's all because of the pressure society puts on you. Now, now that we've gotten that out of the way, I guess that's my like little rant of the day. Well, there's going to be lots of little rants in this podcast, but I want to tell you a healthy way of becoming more, I don't know, having your glow up, if that's what you want to call it, but also being happy and healthy at the same time. And I would also like to say that it's actually a lot more simpler than you think it is, and it's really not that complicated. So, the first aspect I would like to speak about would be mindset. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. Well, you're probably thinking that you're annoyed that I'm even going to talk about mindset when we're talking about having glow ups. But low key, I honestly think it's really important to actually love yourself before you decide that you want to have a glow up. Because if you go out of a pure hatred of yourself, you think, oh my God, like I'm so ugly. Like I want a nose job. I want this. I want that. This is wrong with my face. That's how you fall into that pipeline of just getting like quick fixes, which is like fillers. And if you know anything about anything, quick fix is really not a good idea. Let me share a little story about myself so I can gain some empathy from you guys. When I was younger, and I still have like a bigger nose, but when I was younger, I genuinely was very upset about the fact that I had a very big nose and small lips. Now, Society has deemed these features as unattractive, and that's one of the reasons that I didn't like that about myself. I kind of just let the media and society dictate what I thought about myself, and I never thought I could be beautiful with those features. But it wasn't until the day that I realized that that wasn't true and that these features are beautiful that I could really grow into them and really become the most beautiful version of myself. Just to say that I don't think it should come out of hate in my opinion, because you need to believe that you are beautiful to become more beautiful. And I will say, I still have a big nose, smaller lips, but I've grown into my features and I've done a lot of work that it looks really good. And I really love myself and I think I'm beautiful. So, yeah. But I know you guys want to hear about real tips here for a glow up. What did I do to go from being a silly looking teenager to this beautiful self that I am right now? So, I guess I'll tell you. Now, the first thing, the first thing was mindset, but the first real thing that you guys want to hear about is health. Now, I'm no scientist, but I would say that people are naturally attracted to healthier looking people. And this just goes by the fact that if you exercise a lot, usually you'll have a little bit more structured of a face, and that's just makes your features more attractive. When I was a little bit chunkier, I had a lot of fat on my face. And as I worked out more and I gained a lot of muscle and I burned a lot of fat, my face actually leaned out a lot. And those features that I didn't like anymore actually began looking good, if that makes any sense. So, because I had like a chiseled jawline and my face looked more balanced and proportioned, my big nose and my small lips actually looked attractive. Well, I know that may come to a shock to some people, but there may actually be those features that you don't like, but you just don't like them because they just currently don't fit your face, if that makes any sense. Now, what we're not going to do is take this advice from me and decide that we're going to start starving ourselves, because that is the complete opposite of where I'm headed in this entire conversation. Please leave if you are taking that as no, I'm just kidding. Do not leave, because I'm going to give you better advice than starving yourself. Because if you starve yourself, you are just going to, I mean, it's just straight up, it's not healthy. Like, let's be real, it's not healthy. And you are going to have a lot of health issues and you're not going to become attractive in the way that you think you are. We want to be healthy. Let's talk about a fitness routine. So, I have been working out for, I would say, I'm turning 24 this year. I started working out when I was 12. So I've been working out for 11, almost 12 years. And that makes me semi qualified to talk about this topic, I would say. But I'm going to talk about it as if I'm fully qualified. And you guys can decide to listen to it or not, depending on if you like what I'm going to say. But essentially, I will say that one of the most important factors is actually getting to the gym. Now, if you have always wanted to exercise and be fit, then the first step is actually getting yourself to go to the gym on a regular basis. Here's the thing. Everyone wants to be searching up like, what's the most effective chest routine? What's the most effective glute routine? And trying to make this super advanced routine. You don't even go to the gym. Why are you searching up what is the most effective glute routine and only doing that when you can't even go to the gym regularly? What's more important is actually just building the habit. So if you go to the gym and do whatever, a very basic routine that maybe you don't know if it works or not, whatever, at least it's putting yourself in the habit to actually go to the gym. And I feel like that's low-key the most underrated tip, is that you really just want to actually go first. Go to the gym, use a very basic routine, search on ChatGPT, what's a basic workout routine, go to the gym for 3 months. And then from there, when you have that basic habit of going to the gym, then you can search up what's the most advanced chest routine, what's the most advanced blah, 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 blah. But realistically, the most important thing is actually getting to the gym and building the habit. Once you've had the habit for a long time, then, only then, should you be searching up how to become more advanced. Because you might just end up overstimulating yourself with these crazy routines if it's literally your first week in the gym, and that might burn you out and you'll never show up again. I would say if you're just starting out, 3 times a week is good enough. I would just do push or chest. So chest and triceps on one day, back and biceps on another day, and legs on another day. And if you want a fourth day, then you can do like core slash shoulders and arms. So let's say 3 or 4 times a week. And I would also incorporate just some cardio in as well. My favorite tip, and low-key, this is not a beginner tip, so I probably wouldn't do this if you have like never ran ever, but the most underrated exercise is sprinting. I love to do sprints. I literally do it for like 10 minutes. I'll do like 5 to 10 sprints. I do 1 minute walk, 30-second jog, 30-second sprint. And this is like a HIIT type workout, which essentially makes you burn a lot of calories, but it also boosts your metabolism for multiple days after, which is great because it's a very short amount of time. And at the same time, it builds your legs and your glutes. In my opinion, it's like a win-win situation. It's like low-key the most underrated thing to do. But if you're a beginner, I low-key wouldn't do it. So I don't even know why I'm bringing this up right now. I mean, if you're more advanced, then you can take that tip and run with it, because whenever I want to get shredded, I just start doing sprints and I end up like looking really, really, really good. But if you're a beginner, just start with an incline walk. Everyone talks about 12-3-30, and I'm here to tell you that I love it. I love me a 12-3-30. So if you don't know what that means, it essentially means 12 incline, 3 miles per hour for 30 minutes. It's a very gentle exercise, but it burns a lot of calories, and it's good to kind of just get yourself in the routine of doing cardio. What am I saying here? Don't overcomplicate it. Just build the habit, incorporate the incline walk with weightlifting that you got ChatGPT, literally like chest, back, legs, shoulders, very simple stuff, and you will succeed. So we're just going to build the habit for 3 months, and then you can become more advanced and really start to achieve the goals that you want to achieve. One more highlight or mention I will say, if you really want to like improve your mindfulness and flexibility, I would do yoga or Pilates once or twice a week as well. A little fact about me is I'm actually a certified mat Pilates teacher, and I do Pilates once a week, and I really love it. I really love doing Pilates. But essentially, it just really helps build your core and kind of build awareness in your body. And that really helps with your other lifts and just becoming more safe so you're not injuring yourself all the time. Now, let's talk about the thing nobody wants to talk about ever: nutrition. My take for nutrition is, and I'm not a nutritionist, I would love to do another podcast where I actually bring a nutritionist on and interview them so I can ask them my questions, maybe have them rate my diet and tell me what I could improve on. But we don't have that luxury today because it's just me in this bedroom. So I'm going to tell you just the very little I know about being healthy. And I would like you guys to not come for me. Nutrition is all about balance, in my opinion. But what any person who has a degree in nutrition will tell you, I think, I hope, is that if you want to lose fat, you have to be in a calorie deficit. It's very simple. You just go on Google, you could search up calorie deficit calculator or calorie maintenance calculator, something along those lines. It'll ask you a few questions like, how often do you work out? What's your height? What's your weight? What's your gender? Stuff like that. Please tell the truth, because if you really actually want to lose fat, you have to tell the truth. It'll tell you what your maintenance calories are. Mine are around 2,500. I'm very petite. I've had times where it's been up to 3,000, but right now it's around 2,500. And I'm maintaining right now, so it's not really a big deal. But when I was like bigger, I had like 3,000 and I ate 2,500, which brought me down here. I'm going to explain it in a second. Essentially, let's say that once you've done this calculation, it says your maintenance calories are 2,800 a month. Sorry, not a month, 2,800 a day. So it's saying that you're realistically eating around 2,800 calories every single day averaged out, and that's why you are the weight that you are. So if you want to lose fat, what you have to do is you have to eat less. And I know no one wants to hear that, but you don't actually always have to eat less. You can kind of just find the right foods that are less calories and eat the same amount, but I'll get into that in a second. Let's say you want to lose fat. So what you'll do is you'll eat 2,300 calories a day instead of 2,800. And then you're having 500 less calories a day, and your body will adjust itself to be that weight. If you're eating 2,300 calories a day average, your body will lose fat to make your body the body that burns that many calories. Now, another big factor of this is protein intake. When you eat higher protein, then you're able to maintain more muscle. That's very important as well. Like if you don't eat any protein and then you just eat less, you're going to lose fat and muscle. But if you eat high protein, then you'll lose more fat and won't lose as much muscle when you're in this calorie deficit. Now, how to calculate all of this? Well, not to be an AI supporter, but you can really work with ChatGPT and tell them what you're eating and kind of figure out the exact amount of calories you're eating. That's what I like to do. I don't really calculate it anymore because I used to calculate a lot and I actually just learned like how many calories things are, so I can kind of wing it now. And I never really have an idea of like, I don't know. I always kind of know what I'm in, and I know like if I'm eating a lot and stuff like that. So I never really worry about it. But I know something obviously a lot of people like to do is eat out with their friends and family. And I am going to say that you should eat out with your friends and family, but you should also prioritize eating at home. I think one of the easiest things to do is cut out eating out by yourself. So a lot of people will eat like just buy lunch at work and stuff like that. It's very easy to kind of pre-make your lunch. You can find the time to do it. I know you're trying to say, "Oh, I don't have the time to do that." Yes, you do. Like, not to come for anyone, but I do work, school at the same time. I'm making this podcast. I know it's not that much. And I also work out, and I can still find time to pre-make lunches if I need to. The only reason I'm saying that is that the more food you eat at home, then you can control the calories and the proteins so you can really reach your goals. If that's something you really like are prioritizing fat loss, then you have to invest in yourself and find that time. You can always find the time, trust me. It's all about balance. So then the very few times you do eat out with friends and family, may that be like twice a week, once a week, you can eat out, eat whatever you want. It's not going to affect you because you eat at home so often that 80% of the time you're eating at home and you're maintaining that calorie deficit that you want to maintain. And I've done this many times. I've done lots of bulks and lots of cuts. So I'll tell you, it's not that hard if you really just pay attention and actually track everything you're eating. I personally like to do 1 pound of fat. Sorry, what am I saying? 1 gram of protein for every pound of body weight is what I like to do to keep a lot of muscle. Let me tell you a few little ideas for you if you are kind of stuck. One thing I like to make is like chicken and potatoes. So I'll literally just like get a skillet and make like dice up chicken and potatoes and just cook that, like a ton of them. And then I'll put it into like 6 containers and I'll just eat that throughout the week. You can season it as you like. It's really not that complicated. Let me just bring up another thing, which I forgot to mention. There's like 4 things I like to focus on when eating, and that would be carbs, protein, fat, and fiber. So I make sure every meal has like one of those. One of my favorite meals I like to have is and I know I'm like a little bit Nara Smith, so like not everyone can do this, but I make like pitas from scratch with literally just flour, yeast, and a little bit of sugar and water. And that's my carb. And then I make hummus also, which has chickpeas, which has fiber in it. And I usually do like a red pepper hummus or like any kind of like thing I like to mix it with. And then I also make shredded chicken, which is my protein. And I eat all those together. So that has carbs, protein, fat, and fiber. You just make sure every meal has one of those things. Fiber can be found in lots of vegetables, lots of beans, things like that. Protein, obviously, in meat. If you don't eat meat, then it can be found in beans as well. But um, I'm not a vegetarian, so I can't tell you the highest protein things for vegetarians. But I can say, I mean, I eat chicken and that's my biggest meat source. So I really can't help you there. But do your own research. There are definitely high protein foods if you are a vegetarian and that's your lifestyle. It will be a little bit more complicated. But if you're up for that, I applaud you. But me, I'm not. I like my meat. Anywho, I think the biggest thing for nutrition is to just not overcomplicate it, in my opinion. As I said, I'm not going to dig too much into it. That's just what I do. And those are two simple tips that I think are good. And I will say, I'm not a professional. I am not a nutritionist. So one day I'm going to have a nutritionist on here and we can really talk about it, break it down. But for now, calorie deficit, protein, carbs, fat, fiber, and make as many meals at home as you can. And trust me, you will probably begin to lose fat and feel a lot healthier. Now, let's get on to my favorite topic, which would be skincare. I am going to say I'm actually very qualified on this. Not that I'm an esthetician or anything like that, but I used to have cystic acne, so I feel like that qualifies me to talk about this topic. And I had this acne for many, many, many years, to be honest. Even like up until like low key recently, I would still have like moments where I still had it. The only thing that really helped was benzoyl peroxide. Now, benzoyl peroxide was only really a quick fix though. So I know it's like banned in the EU and stuff like that because it's a very harsh chemical, but that was like the only thing that really got rid of it. And the kind that I used at first is actually from the doctor. So when I had really bad cystic acne, I went to the doctor and they diagnosed this type of benzoyl peroxide cream. And I used that for like many years. And then I was like, okay, this isn't sustainable anymore. So I bought the benzoyl peroxide face wash from CeraVe. And I used that for a really long time. Now, I have combination skin, so I have like an oily nose and dry the rest of my face. And it really, really, really dried out my face like really badly, but my skin was clear. I decided I needed to make a big change. So I did what all the baddies do and I researched Korean skincare. And girl, I have never went back. The benzoyl peroxide was just not giving. Like it cleared my acne, but it really didn't get to the root cause of what was really happening. And what was really happening was I needed to repair my barrier. And I will say I don't really know what that means. I just know that the Koreans do that. I threw out everything. I didn't throw out everything, but I did. So I mean my routine wasn't very long before, but I created a new Korean routine, which I've been doing for like a year now, and my skin has literally never been clear. It's glowing all of the time. Let me tell you what my routine is. And I will say everyone has different skin, so this might not necessarily work for you, but this is what works for me. So if you want to take my tips and run with it, then period. First step, and I've recently just added this step, is I actually got a microcurrent tool. If you guys don't know what that is, it uses electrical muscle stimulation in this little thing and you put it on your face and it like sends shocks to your face. But it's kind of like a gua sha. It just lifts your muscles and gives you this like snatched look. It's kind of expensive though, so I would recommend not buying it if you don't have the money for it. But if it's something you want to save up for, my boyfriend actually got it as a gift for Christmas. I do that first, so I use aloe vera because you need like a conductor for it. So I put aloe vera on my face. I do the microcurrent, And then this is when the real routine starts. First, I use the Laneige Gentle Face Wash, put it all over my face, and then I don't wash it off immediately. Take my gua sha and I sculpt my face with my gua sha, and then I wash off the face wash. Now, this is the most important step that I learned from the Korean community, and it may be controversial. I do not dry my face. I know what you might be thinking, that's literally crazy, but it's actually not, because it really works. So I do not dry my face. Instead, I have a wet face, and then I take the Laneige toner milk spray, spray it all over my face, and then I let it dry for a little bit. So I let the hydration of the water kind of sink into my face. And I will say, like, none of the towels I ever used to dry my face were probably clean at all. So I feel like they get dirty after a day. Like, I don't know. It's just not even giving clean to me anyways to be putting on my face. Ever since I've done this step, I literally have not had any acne. So I feel like it's genuinely a good tip for just like trapping hydration in your face. After I do that, when it's still like a little bit damp but also dried, I take the Cosrx Snail Mucin all-in-one cream, and which is like from snails. Love it. And I put that on my face. That's the next step. Then my next favorite K-beauty brand is called Beauty of Joseon. So I have this thing called the lightweight SPF moisturizer from there. And it's actually banned. It's not banned in Canada. It's just not like approved in Canada yet. So I have to order it from Korea because it's a chemical sunscreen. But I put that on my face, and it just like is my final moisturizer and also has a little bit of SPF. And then because I'm a crazy person, I have the tinted SPF the tinted SPF. It's not a moisturizer, from Beauty of Joseon as well, which I also put on top just for extra coverage. So that is my skincare routine. I personally think that it's giving. Ever since I've been doing it, my skin has been very, very clear. But that's just what I do in the morning. So that's just my morning routine to kind of prepare for the day. And then at night, I do something a little bit different. So I do the face wash and I do the spray, but I don't do the rest of the routine, obviously, because it's not the day. So I don't need to wear SPF. What I do instead of serums, because I've low-key turned on serums, they just have never sat well with my face. Every time I do serums, I just like look bad. Like, it's just not giving for me. I do leave-in masks. So I have various leave-in masks that I do. Once a week, I do the Innisfree clay mask, volcanic clay mask. So essentially for that one, I wash my face, then I put it on, and then I wash my face off. I wash the face mask off my face. That is a physical exfoliator. So I do that once a week, one physical exfoliation a week. And then after that, I do my regular routine. And after the snail mucin, I do the Laneige water sleeping mask. If there's one thing to take from this video, it's that the Laneige water sleeping mask is literally the best skincare product I have ever used in my entire life. This is not even like a promo. This is not an ad. It genuinely is that good. Every time I put it on, I wake up and my skin looks better. The one thing I could ever recommend is the Laneige water sleeping mask. Now, that's just one night a week I do that routine. On other nights, I do stuff slightly different. I always finish with the Laneige water sleeping mask. I have some other leave-on masks. I have this one called the 111 Skin Microbiome Mask, and that one is a chemical exfoliation. So I do one chemical exfoliation a week as well, and that one's a leave-on mask. So essentially, I do my face wash, my spray, and then I put that on, and then I put the Laneige water sleeping mask on, and I go to bed. And that just chemically exfoliates my face and hydrates and barrier repairs at the same time. I do one physical exfoliation and one chemical exfoliation every week. And I just got this other mask that I also do, which is Bakuchiol, which is kind of like retinol. It's a retinol alternative, but for gentler skin. So I do that one, and then I do Laneige water sleeping mask again. So I do that one. We also have this vitamin C one from Hanuel. which I don't really use that much because I don't really like the smell of it. And I don't know, vitamin C just like doesn't really like sit with my skin well ever. But yeah, so those are the face masks I use. So I do leave on masks typically, other than my volcanic clay mask. And I really enjoy doing that over serums. So one thing to take away from this is the Laneige water sleeving mask, and also just finding a routine that works for you. And something about Korean skincare is that it focuses on barrier repair. So that might be something you want to think about, is repairing your barrier, whatever that means. I don't know. It worked for me, so now I'm off the Western skincare, which doesn't work for me. But the next part of the glow up would be hair theory. If you're watching my video right now, you can see I have long hair with a man bun. I have like half a puff down going on right now. I have curly hair. I would say for hair, it's kind of different for every person. It's really whatever works for you. So it's kind of like unique. I find that this hair really fits me. Some people might not think that, but to me, I really embrace my long hair because it's just so unique compared to other people, and I really feel like myself when I'm wearing it. One thing I did do, sorry. One thing I did though. One thing I did though. Sorry. One thing I did do to my hair recently is I actually dyed it black. It's dark brown typically, but I just dyed it black because I like the contrast that it adds in the winter when I have paler skin. And I also like slightly fill in my eyebrows sometimes. Low-key, my eyebrow, guys, I don't know why I'm doing that. Low-key, my eyebrows like have been growing in very much recently, so I've actually been filling them in less and less. But I still like add like a teensy bit of fill in just for like a fuller look. Um, you can say I'm gay for that, but I am gay, so it doesn't really matter to me. Uh, and one more tip I could give you for hair, and this can also go for makeup if you're a girl, is find a celebrity who you look like and just like copy their hair or makeup. I feel like it's such a good tip for maximizing your look, in my opinion. But also just like do the aesthetic and the hair that you really feel confident in and you really think like fits your features. I feel like you know yourself the best, in my opinion. The final segment and the most controversial would be procedures. Let me talk about what I've got done. I'm just kidding. I don't have anything done, I guess, but I do have Invisalign. So I got Invisalign like several years ago, and then low key, I had like a bad retainer issue and my teeth like relapsed. So I'm actually doing it again. But I will say it made a huge change in my face. I had like a recessed chin before, and the Invisalign like brought my chin forward, and at the same time that also like made my nose look not as big, if that makes any sense. And what I'm getting at here is if you have issues with your chin or your nose and your face, I would say like 90% of the time it's probably actually because you have some sort of dental work that you could get done that could fix that, in my opinion. Let me explain something to you. If you have a recessed chin and it's from your jaw not being as grown in as it should be from an overbite, and your nose like appears to be a little bit bigger, you might think, okay, I really want to fix this. Like, I hate this. Let me get a quick fix. Get fillers in your chin and your nose. That is why these people look really bad. Like, people are ruining their face with filler because they're trying to fix something that could easily be fixed by getting Invisalign, because they don't want to put up with just having the Invisalign for a year because it like is slightly noticeable. I'm here to tell you that I'd rather do the Invisalign and have it fixed naturally, because not only does it help with it, but it also has a lot of health benefits as well for like breathing and eating and like jaw pain and stuff like that. Dental work is so much better than getting filler. Please, 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 if the reason that like you have structural issues in your face, please don't fix it with filler. It's a little bit more expensive to get dental work done, but it will last for your entire life, and you will be so happy that you got it because just like I said, it made my face look so much better. Like my lips were a little bit bigger, my nose looked smaller because my jaw was more forward. Now, imagine I just like got fillers and veneers. Well, that's what a lot of people do. And it really doesn't look good. And I'm not trying to hate on those people because I just think like they just they're obviously insecure about it and I was too, but I just think they tackled it in the wrong way and I'm trying to prevent more people from doing that because if you get it fixed with dental work, then you'll actually fix a lot of health issues and you'll just be a lot happier in my opinion. Plastic surgery wise, um I've never gotten anything done. I don't think I will. I used to always want a nose job, but I actually like my nose now and I think it looks very Italian. So I don't know. Maybe one day I'll change my mind, but I don't think I will. I'm very confident in myself and I know it can make me like a 12 out of 10 if I did it, but I don't really have the desire to be a 12 out of 10. I kind of just want to look like attractive, but not like a supermodel, if that makes any sense. But if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. I will not judge you for doing that, but I don't think it's necessary. I think looking like your best self is great, but if like having a nose job is like really what you want, then like go for it, girl. Other surgeries, I don't really, I mean, I don't really know. Like I've never thought about any other surgeries for myself, so I really can't make a comment on that. I will say I have seen nose jobs that look really good, so do your thing, girl. Come on. But yeah, I would say plastic surgery is not really necessary if you just kind of like, I don't know. As I said, dental work, if you need to get dental work done, a big, bright, beautiful smile will upgrade your appearance so much and make your features just look so much better. But it's besides the point. So I would like to thank you guys for listening to my rant for the past 40 ish minutes. And I would like to leave with a final note that the most important thing is just confidence. Doesn't matter what you look like, being confident is what makes you attractive in general. If you want to improve your appearance to have a glow up or whatever, I would say being confident is the most important thing to do. And yeah, don't overcomplicate it. Get to the gym, search some easy meals, find easy, yummy recipes that you like, and just get started. Be confident, don't overcomplicate it, keep it simple, and also have a basic skincare routine. On that note, I'd like to thank you guys again and say I love you all. I'll see you next week. For the next few weeks, we'll talk about all kinds of things I'm interested in, like fashion, wellness, pop culture. Also, just like I think I might make a video on minimalism because I'm trying to become a minimalist. All the fun things. But other than that, I will see you guys next week. Love you. Bye. This is the Lukey Show. Okay, ciao.